there again, guys. Boyd back with you with Sci-Fi Model Action, and we're just about ready to close up and seal the Battlestar Galactica here, so I wanted to show you what's all inside this before I did that. Somebody on one of the forums there asked me a question about this brass rod or how you install it. Now basically I just drilled a hole to match the size of the rod and glued it in place there at the bottom. On the bottom side of it where it goes into the wooden base that I'm going to make for it, I'll just leave it, drill the exact size hole and leave it loose and kind of countersink it so that the model will be able to turn back and forth on that. I'll leave that, you know, the pivoting action will actually take place in the base and not the model, so we don't have any wires twisting around inside it. And I'll explain a little bit about back here. What I did is originally when you saw the test lighting is I had some blue lighting here at the back. Well, I've switched it to white because after I tested it I realized I had blue light that was bleeding into the front part of the model here, and some of the rear windows were looking kind of blue. And rather than go to a lot of trouble to build a big old bulkhead in there that's going to fit perfectly and block all the light from coming forward, I just switched it to a set of white lights, and then I went in and tinted this lens that I have here, and I put a little bit of white paint behind that to diffuse it. And so you can see here now that we've got blue at the back that will just light up in blue with our white light behind it, and I actually tinted a little bit that center part there, the smaller port, in red, so you'll get a little bit better effect than what we had there before, a little bit more realistic. And there are red LEDs, two sets of red LED strip tape in each landing bay, and I drilled out the holes, if you can see those, for all the Viper launch tubes, just to make that a little bit more, something there, a little bit, add a little bit of detail, and some nice red light leaks through that too, so it gives a little bit more of a definition on the side of the model. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to seal this up. It looks like a hopeless pile of junk that just crashed right now, but I've got my wiring all tight, and that's why I can't spread it out. I'll be dropping the center part in here first, getting it glued, and then I've got just enough wire to where I can move the landing bays up and glue those in place. So I'll do that now, and I'll come back and show you how the model looks like all in one piece. We'll still have to do some seam work on the bottom and fill some gaps, but it should be looking pretty good when we get to that point. Be right back with that in just a second. Hey guys, I'm back, and it's been a couple hours, and I've got the model all propped up here on the brass mounting rod, and I've got all the lighting turned on to make sure it's still working. And here's what it looks like. I've done some weathering on this too and started putting the decals on. These little red ones that wrap around the front of the landing base were just total garbage. They just looked all wrinkled and everything, so I'll come back tomorrow after work and paint those on. And let's see, what else did I change? Oh, here in the back, I took the engine ports back out because I just didn't like the way that lens looked in there. I'm going to make a nicer one. And then I was able to go in there and do some weathering and stuff inside the ports as well and get those to look a little bit black. If I would have sprayed it, yeah, I would have got black all over inside of that on the lens and everything. It would look bad. So I went back and fixed that, or I'm going to fix that. It's no problem at all. Just put glue that back on and light block it again. And I just put some micro crystal clear in all the windows here, so you can see those are tamed down quite a bit. We're not getting that little twinkle out of them anymore, and some of them haven't dried yet, and they're not coming through very strong, but they will. I'm going to switch this to macro mode here in a second and turn the lights down a little bit, and you can see the window lighting effects a little bit better when I do that. So let's do that, and I'll be right back with that. Okay guys, well here's a look at the model in some lower lighting now, and you can see our windows are looking quite a bit better now. They're not all sparkly and glaring at you. They do show up nice. And again, some of that crystal clear is not completely dry, and there may be one or two that the crystal clear didn't penetrate all the way and it didn't fill the hole. And if you'll notice, probably these two up here, I'll probably 2 or 3 group there I'll have to hit again to get those to calm down. But you can see we've got our nice Viper launch tubes there on the sides of the landing bays, so that turned out pretty sweet. Can't show you the back of the engine here, that's just wide open like I mentioned. I'll fix that tomorrow. And let's see if we can look at the bottom lights here. But yeah, those look cool. And I think the weathering turned out really nice on this too. get my light so it doesn't glare so much for you. But our little, real tiny little windows there on the forward part are coming through real nice, and then we've got several there on the sides. And like I said, I'll paint those red ones on. I might peel these off at the rear here. They look a little better, but boy, those were horrible decals. They weren't conforming to that shape at all. There were these little kind of ribs on there, and I just kept getting these big air pockets. They'll look nicer painted on anyway. They're just basic red stripes that wrap around that. So yeah, I can tell I'm going to have to tone these down some here. They're still glaring. They need more filler in there. So, but other than that, just a few little minor things, but I really think that the weathering turned out good on this too. I did a combination of a wash, and then there's about 4 different shades of gray, tan, and a little bit of black here and there. And it really brought out the detail on it. So, okay guys, well that's going to wrap up this update. We'll be back with a part 4, and that'll probably be getting close to the finale on this one. This was a pretty easy build actually, and for being just, you know, kind of a cheap old model, a little bit of work to it and a little bit of lighting and things like that, and you can bring it to life. And I think it looks pretty nice. I don't know if that red effect was ever, I think those tubes were just lit individually when a Viper was launching out of there, but I think that red effect does look cool on the side of this. So anyway guys, we'll catch up with you on the next video, and we'll continue on with the getting close to the end of this one. I hope to see you there. So until then everyone, happy modeling you guys.